Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be another short clip, and I found out that the audio on the last couple have been suspect, and that's all on me. I don't have an external mic, so I'll do the best I can. It's raining, so I'm going to have to talk over that as well. In any case, I found out that the short clips seem to work better for me because I'm lazy. I have made longer videos in the past where I was putting together different clips, and given what I'm doing right now, I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze, so I'm going to continue doing these smaller videos, segments I guess, and then we'll go from there and see how it works out. I'm not saying I won't do longer ones, but I know you're all in such suspense. But in any case, I really do appreciate you tuning in, and I'll get you caught up on where we are today. I'm pretty much doing something every day for right now, so I'm pretty excited with how it's going. So here we are on the left side, which is where the front suspension is going to go. So all this metal, and it's a recap, I know, everything's been ground down, treated, undercoated, and then painted flat black. Turned out pretty good. It's flat black and there's not a whole lot to expect, I guess. But I also did the Shelby drop, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. There's great videos out there that can explain it much better than I can. But basically, you drop the upper control arm down 1 inch, and it's off of a template that I ordered. And if anybody needs the template, I don't expect I'll use it again, so send me an email, or if you know anybody doing a Cougar Mustang, specifically a Cougar, because there is some variance in the template. Anyway, so the template goes here. Actually, I'll show the template. So the template would bolt up to the upper control arm holes, and then there's 1/8 inch holes to use as a template, and then you just walk it up till you get the right size for the bolt. Pretty close. It ends up being an 1/8 of an inch, and it was lined up really well. I was surprised. I didn't have to walk it either way, one way or the other, too much. In any case, that's the one mod. The second mod is a stiffening plate that goes in here to stiffen up this area that flexes quite a bit. Now, this plate was also ordered. I think I got this from NPD. But anyway, so it's been fitted in there. I had to modify it a little bit, do some grinding here and there, but for the most part it was a direct fit. And then I ground down all the areas here where the weld's going to take place, and that'll sit in there, stiffen that up, and then we can start putting things together. The other side is not as far along, but it's pretty close. All the surface prep has been done, and the plate is mostly fitted. I mean, it's probably good to go right now, but I may, once I do the other side and see how it welds in, I may tweak this a little bit, but we'll see. However, I did screw up on this side. I went ahead and treated it and did the undercoating, and I forgot to do seam sealer. So since the seam sealer is also, I guess, some type of petroleum base, it didn't stick really well, so I had to grind it all back down, take all the surface preparation I'd done off, retreat the metal, and then seam seal again. And I think it's going to work out fine. In any case, once those plates are on, that box will be sealed, and once I do that, I'll inject through, I think it's Eastwood products. They have, let's see, they have this attachment that you put on frame paint, and then it's got a little nozzle that's, probably can't see that. Anyway, it does a spray pattern, so it's for internal frame prep. So I'll take care of that whole box, so once it's sealed up, it'll be painted, and hopefully that'll be that. Don't expect much water to get in there, but you never know. The other thing I got done yesterday was I took off the rear fuel line, because I'm going to use that, and it's probably fine, but in for a penny, in for a pound. I ordered new fuel lines, and they've already come. So this is the rear fuel line, and you'll see it's bent, and I've already installed one of these before, and I'll have to straighten that out, and it lays in pretty well. I was really surprised the first time I did it how it worked out, but that doesn't scare me anymore. The other fuel line, where have I put it? Anyway, that's going to go in here, and I already test fitted it, and it laid in really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. So we're making some progress. My brake line should be here tomorrow, and I think once I get those last couple of parts in, I'm going to go ahead and start putting this all together. I'll go ahead and I'll lay out all the parts that are going to go on, from the springs to the upper lower control arms, tie rods, and different components, and I'll lay them out. And I don't think I'm going to do a piece by piece video of the installation, but I'll show you when it's all laid out. Let's see, I was under the car yesterday looking at how I'm going to prep the underbody for cleaning and a little bit of touch up for undercoating, and I think I'm just going to power wash it. Now I'm going to have to make a lay plastic down on the floor at an angle so it runs out the back, but it's just a lot of dirt, dry dirt. But either way, I'm going to have to figure a way to clean that, and maybe I just cleaned a little bit at a time or just blast the whole thing. We'll see. But making progress. I'm pretty pleased. I haven't cussed at the car once yet. You know, and as a Christian you shouldn't anyway, but you know, I have my failings. The sailor comes out of me once in a while. And then I think once I get the front suspension on, I'm going to make a decision on whether to upgrade the brakes from drum to rotor. Now I don't have to do that now. Certainly would probably be a little easier now, but we'll see. I'm going to also powder coat the upper shock mounts and these brackets, and they're pretty heavy steel. They mount here, and the springs go inside. I'm going to go ahead and powder coat these gloss black. That should be here tomorrow as well. I did some testing on the sandblaster, and it leaks a lot. So as I'm sandblasting, I actually have this very thick drop cloth that I put over my head and cover everything, so all the dust and sand that leaks out just falls down. And it's okay. I'm not going to do a whole lot of powder coating, but it's nice to have a sandblaster that works, and it's okay. I think I paid $100 for it, so you know, you get what you pay for to a degree, but there are some upgrades and modifications that I can do to it if I was going to do more. And then of course I have the oven, so all this is going to work out pretty good. I've done it before. I'm not a stranger to powder coating. I had the Porsche 928 and did extensive cleaning, prep, and powder coating. It turned out amazing. So we'll see. The next real challenge is going to be welding, which I won't say that I've done any to speak of. I've done here and there, but I got this Harbor Freight titanium flux 125. Haven't even taken it out of the box, but I've got everything to start, and I've got some practice metal, so that's going to be my next adventure. So hopefully I don't blow holes in this steel, and that's kind of where we are. Thanks for tuning in. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. If you know of anybody that's doing any classic Mustangs or Cougars, send them my way. I mean, hopefully this helps. But all of this is doable. Certainly it's much easier than rebuilding Porsches. Anyway, take care. God bless. Do the next right thing. See y'all later.